woher kommst du?
Hamburg ist sehr schön.
Oh ja.
Ich komme Tasse. Dreimal am Tag, morgens, mittags und Abend. I kind of be able to figure out what's going on. Ich liebe dich.
Ich dich auch.
Hallo und willkommen zu meinem YouTube-Kanal. Ich heiße Coralie und meine Deutsch ist nicht sehr gut. So I have been living in Germany for quite a few months now and I am still terrible at the language, and it is time that changed. So what I was doing before this was basically daily Duolingo lessons, and while that has been helpful and I have learned a lot of words from that, I could be doing so much better, and Duolingo is not the best way to learn a language. So today we are going to study German. I am going to show you how I've been learning through my laptop, how I've been reading, all that good stuff. Now, I still do my Duolingo lessons daily. They are helpful. I am learning new words and how to structure sentences, but like I said, they're not overly helpful because it's not that often that I'm going to walk up to someone in Germany and tell them that my bear surfs in the winter. There's better ways to learn, but I am going back to basics. When I say I am going back to basics, I mean I am going back to basics. I am basically a toddler.
Emma, help her undo it. Oh, sorry.
What I mean by this is what I've been listening to lately. This has been my German practice. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. My boyfriend tried to quiz me on the German alphabet and it confused me so much. I was like, H, I, V, Y, what is going on? So I took it upon myself to just sit in bed one evening when I'd normally be watching a TV show or some YouTube, and I just played this child's nursery rhyme song on repeat and said it over and over again until it made sense to me. And now I can say the German alphabet with pretty much ease. Like, I'm sure I'm pronouncing some things a little bit wrong, and I'm always going to pronounce some things a little bit wrong because I grew up in Australia. I do not have the German accent. It is hard to pronounce some things without the German accent, but I now understand the German alphabet. For example, I went to a Hamburg soccer match or Fußball match, and all the fans were chanting HSV, and I never quite understood how HSV was translated to HSV, but now that I know the German alphabet, I understand that. A, B, C, D. To go along with that, I have also been watching a bunch of kids shows because kids shows have been easy to digest because they speak slowly and they use simple language. So like I said, I feel like a toddler. I have been laying in bed listening to my ABCs, watching kids shows and having story time. I've been reading basic A1 German stories and my boyfriend has been reading them with me and correcting my mistakes and like helping me with words I don't understand, and it's a really strange feeling because you feel like a child. But in saying that, I have learned more German in a short amount of time than I have in the past few months on Duolingo. So another thing I have been loving is doing a daily crossword puzzle. Now, I actually saw this from watching another YouTube video about how a YouTuber learned French, and she said she did a daily crossword puzzle through Linguino, and that is exactly what I've been doing. So I have just been doing the basic A1 crossword every single day and seeing how many words I know and how many I don't know. So let's just go through this real quick and see what we know. up, and I'm generally surprised with what words I do know and what words I don't know, which I can mainly thank Duolingo for this. So for example, this one here, Klavier. I wouldn't have learned the word Klavier through my German stories or the shows that I've been watching. I learned that through Duolingo. But let's just go through this and see how much we know. Put schwimmen, cool, stor, to think. Not sure about that one. Bathroom, bad. See, this one I actually learned through doing this, because when I thought of bathroom, I thought of Badezimmer. I didn't realize that it could be shortened down to just be bad. So I learned that through doing this crossword. Until, bis, cinema, kino, oranje, cup, tasse, every, jeden, jeder, English, here, not sure about that one, rot, eins, thing, not sure about that, ear, oh, okay, that was actually kind of a guess. Uncle, China, ha, okay. Often, oft, tea. Oh, tea. Okay, so these are the ones I'm not too sure of, so I can hint. Gleich. Okay, I'm not sure if I've heard that word before, so that's a new one I can try and commit to memory. To think. Meinen. Interesting. Okay, I didn't realize that was also a word for to think. Hier. Hierhin. Okay, interesting. And thing. Die Sache. Okay, so you can see by this that what is green is stuff that I already knew, and what is in yellow is what I needed a hint with. So I am very happy with that, and that goes to show how much German words I do actually know. Like, I am much better at reading than I am at listening and hearing German, so I am happy with that. So next, I think I'm going to do a little bit of reading. So I have a beginner German book that I have had for a couple months, and I never really read it because it was too hard. So I got another one in hopes that this one would be a little bit easier, because like I said, I just read a lot better than I can comprehend what people are saying to me, which that is something I need to work on. Again, I've been doing this with my boyfriend, but I have been reading stories, which, by the way, you can just go on ChatGPT and type in create a simple A1 German story for me, and then it will, and you can read it, and it's actually been incredibly helpful. But I'm gonna give this one a go. Okay, so Julia ist krank. So Julia is sick. This is what we're looking at. Pause the video. If you know German, you can read this. I'm gonna try to read this in German, just try and pronounce the words, and then I'm gonna try and translate it. So, Julia fühlt sich nicht gut. Sie hat Fieber und liegt im Bett. Ihre Mutter kommt aus der Arbeit. Sie geht in das Zimmer ihrer Tochter und fragt, Liebes, was hast du? Geht es dir nicht gut? Julia antwortet, nein, es geht mir nicht gut. Ich fühle mich schlecht. 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 Die Mutter bringt ihre Tochter zum Arzt. Ein Arzthelferin berußt sie in der Praxis. I literally feel like a toddler learning to read. Die Arzthelferin nimmt die Versicherungskarte von Julia. Dann nimmt sie Julias Patientendaten auf. Sie sagt, bitte nehmen Sie im Wartezimmer Platz. Ich rufe Sie auf, wenn Sie dran sind. Oh, Jesus Christ. Nach einer Weile wird Julia aufgerufen. Die Arzthelferin begleitet sie ins Sprechzimmer. Später kommt der Arzt rein und begrüßt sie lächelnd. Er untersucht Julia. Er berührt ihr Stirn. I'm so sorry to all my Germans out there. I am butchering this. Julia hat Fieber. Er sagt, öffne deinen Mund und strecke deine Zunge raus. Nach der Untersuchung sagt er ihr, du bist erkältet. Ich verschreibe dir ein Rezept. Nimm dieses Medikament 3-mal am Tag, morgens, mittags und abends. Julia und ihre Mutter bedanken sich beim Arzt und verabschieden sich. Sie verlassen die Arztpraxis und gehen zur Apotheke. Sie kaufen das Medikament und fahren zurück nach Haus. Julia nimmt 3 Tage lang die Tabletten ein. Danach ist sie wieder gesund. Okay, so from reading through that, I can understand that Julia is sick. She has a fever. Her mum takes her to the doctor prescribes her medicine. She goes to the pharmacy, she picks up her medicine, she takes them for 3 days. Can I translate this word for word? Probably not. But here is what I read. Julia is not feeling so good. She has a fever and lies in bed. Her mum comes home from work, goes into her room and asks her daughter, how are you? Are you not feeling so good? Julia answers, no, not so good. I feel very bad. The mother brings her daughter to the doctor. The doctor's assistant, okay, there's a few cheat words over here, berust, welcomes her to the practice. The doctor's assistant, okay, I never would have understood that one. There is a cheat code for it over here. Gets the insurance card from Julia. And then she asks her to wait in the waiting room. She will call you when the doctor is ready or when it's your turn. I am not too sure on this sentence. Nach einer Weile wird Julia aufgerufen. I think it means the doctor calls Julia into her office. Later comes the doctor and she comes in smiling. Untersuchen, okay, that means examines. Thank you for the little cheat code. She examines Julia. Berührt ihr Stirn. She touches her forehead. Julia has a fever. Julia has a fever. She says, open your mouth and stick your tongue out. You have a cold? I will prescribe you a recipe. Take this medicine in the morning, midday, and afternoon. Julia and her mum leave the doctor and the practice, and the doctor's practice, the doctor's surgery, and goes to the pharmacy. She buys the medicine and they drive back home. Julia has the tablets for 3 days and then she is healthy again. And then there are 3 questions down here. Was hat Julia für einen Krankheit? So I'm assuming how is Julia sick? Why is she sick? She has a cold. Wohin bringt die Mutter ihre Tochter? Where does the mum bring her daughter? She brings her daughter to the doctors. Wohin gehen Julia and ihre Mutter nach der Arztpraxis? I'm assuming this is where does Julia and her mum go after the doctors? They go to the pharmacy, pick up the medicine, and then they go home. Okay, so I could understand that by reading it. If someone in German were to walk up to me and tell me this story at their normal talking speed, I would be very confused. I'd pick up some words. I know the word Fieber, I know the word Arbeit, I know the word Tochter, Arts. I'd kind of be able to figure out what's going on, but not as well as if I read it. So that is how my German practice has been going, but what I can say is there is one thing that I have that is the best way to learn German, and that is my attractive, gorgeous tutor that I've got living in the same house as me. So I'm gonna go and have a little bit of a basic welcome conversation with him and see how that goes.
Cut.
Cut the cameras! Hallo, ich bin Coralie.
Hallo, Coralie, ich bin Jascha.
Freut mich.
Freut mich auch.
Wie geht es dir? Wie geht es dir?
Very good. Mir geht's gut und dir?
Fantastisch, danke schön. Wo kommst du? Woher kommst du?
Ich komme aus Hamburg. Und woher kommst du?
Ah, Hamburg ist sehr schön.
Oh ja.
Ich komme aus Adelaide.
Oh, Adelaide ist auch
Ja.
schön.
Haben Sie...
Hast du
Haustier?
ein Haustier?
Hast du ein Haustier?
Technically ja. Cookie. Cookie ist ein Hund, aber er wohnt bei meinen Eltern.
Ja.
Hast du ein Haustier?
Ich habe einen Hund. Er heißt Milo. Er ist sehr... How do you say naughty?
Ja, gute Frage.
Eine gute Frage.
Unartig? I have no idea, buddy.
Schlecht?
Na,
Nein.
unartig, I reckon.
Nicht ein gut Junge.
Not a good boy, no.
Aber sehr cute.
Süß.
Süß. Aber sehr süß.
Das stimmt.
Ja.
Und du hast noch einen anderen Hund? Biscuit?
Ja. Biscuit und Dibbly und Maggie.
Oh, yes.
2 Hunde, 2 Katzen.
Wo wohnen die?
Where do I live?
Where do they live?
Oh!
You're not supposed to dox yourself.
Sie leben in Australien.
In.
In.
Yes.
Mm,
Bei deinen Eltern?
ja,
Ah.
mit deinen Eltern. Und mein Oma.
Ah, sehr gut.
How do I ask? I want to say... Wo du arbeitest?
Wo arbeitest du?
Wo arbeitest du?
Ich arbeite in einem Büro. Wait.
Ich arbeite in meinem Büro.
Ich arbeite in einem Unternehmen, das Küchengeräte herstellt.
A
Und
kitchen
du?
appliance company?
Yes. Und wo arbeitest du?
Same. How do you say that?
Ich auch.
Ich auch.
Forgot we work in the same company.
Ja.
Oh, what a coincidence.
He's good at English.
Oh, was für ein Zufall, dass wir im selben Unternehmen arbeiten.
And that's a wrap.
It was a pleasure. Es hat mich gefreut, dich kennenzulernen.
Ich liebe dich.
Ich dich auch. Bye.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.
So that is how I have been learning German, and I have not done this soon enough. I really thought I could just Duolingo my way to being fluent, but that is not the case. But now that I have these books and I have these new techniques and honestly new desire to want to learn the language and be able to speak to my boyfriend and his family in their own language, it is such a motivator. And I am sick of living in this country and not understanding what's going on, so it is time to to change that. That is how I've been learning German. And I can't wait to one day be fluent. So, thank you for watching. And I will see you next time. Maybe speak in German a little more. Maybe we'll do another story. The next one is called Ich lerne Deutsch. Same girl, same. Then we have Ich habe heute will zu tun, meine Tagesablauf in der Woche. So obviously I'm going to assume that it's going to get harder and harder as I go on throughout this book, and it is actually an A2 book, and that is harder than A1, and I'm definitely A1 level at the moment, but hopefully I can get through this book and then I can move on to the other book that I already have, which is slightly more difficult than this one. But thank you for watching. I'm gonna go sing the German alphabet a couple more times. I'll see you next time. Tschüss, bis bald.